My name is Terry Dawson. I'm a retired captain for PSA Airlines, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of American Airlines, and I flew for them for nearly 20 years.
Terry, you know this aircraft, you know the route. What are you thinking? What's going through your head today?
Well, as I was watching the coverage last night, what went through my head mostly is that this can't happen. This just does not happen in this day and age, and just shocked, saddened, disbelief for the whole thing.
You said you know the route. It's a very busy airport. And is it unusual for pilots to be redirected so close to landing to another runway?
No, not in Washington. It's a very busy airspace, so they try to make the most use of all the resources they have, all the runways that they have. So you would be normally, if you're landing north, you approach the airport for runway one, and then the smaller airplanes are able to accept circle to runway 33, which is shorter. The larger airplanes typically can't land on that runway because it's too short for them to land and stop. So when you contact the tower after you're handed off from approach control, the tower will ask if you're okay to circle to runway 33, or sometimes they'll direct you to circle to 33. And if you don't want to do it as the captain, you say unable. Otherwise, you accept the direction and you circle to runway 33. And this enables them to move more traffic. So if there was a preceding airplane that landed on runway one, and then you're the next one to take that runway, to land on that runway, if you accept the circle to 33, that opens up a gap that they can move an airplane into position to take off from runway one, so they can move more traffic more efficiently. So it's not an unusual thing in Washington at all.
And it sounds to me, and it looks from what we're seeing so far, and we know this is very early in the investigation, that the American airline pilots did everything they were supposed to do.
I would assume so, because as close as they were to runway 33. So when you circle over land, and then when you make the final turn to land on runway 33, you're essentially over the Potomac River for a very short time, and then you land. So it's a quick kind of a circle to land approach there. So they were, I don't know all the details, obviously,
Sure.
but from the altitude that they were on very, very short final approach. I mean, their landing was going to be imminently within seconds.
Tell us more about the aircraft and the training that goes into being able to operate this regional jet.
Well, like any aircraft training for a pilot, you go into a very immersive classroom program first, and then you go into the simulator, and you basically learn how to fly that airplane with different type of abnormalities that they throw at you, um, just to make you well versed in the aircraft. Um, it's a it's been a very reliable airplane, and literally, sad to say, I literally flew that airplane in my career there.
That exact airplane?
That exact airplane.
Oh my goodness. What other insight could you give us about, just to help people understand? Because it's really difficult to even comprehend right now, knowing how safe our airspace is and our airliners are. What other insight do you have?
Well, the airliners and the training is top notch in the United States with all the major airlines. So there's no question about that. The airspace in Washington D.C. is very busy due to all the helicopter traffic, a lot of the military helicopters and medevac helicopters. So routinely, when you're on approach control, or even with the tower getting ready to land, they'll routinely say that there's military traffic at below you on your right, or 2 o'clock low. And they typically will say that they have you in sight. The helicopter has you in sight. So we always, try to attain that visually to just to make sure. Um, but it's very common that there's military traffic called out to you almost every approach there. And in this particular accident, I don't even know that just judging from the video, I don't even know that the airliner knew that the helicopter was there.
How do you deal with this now? How do you cope? Like, what's going through your head? Have you been in touch with fellow, coworkers from when you were still working with the airlines?
I have contacted a few of them. There's just a overriding feeling of sadness right now, and again disbelief, because it was so close to landing, kept coming from Kansas, so close to landing, and then in seconds, gone. And it's really hard to wrap your mind around, because typically with situations that arise from a airline or pilot perspective, you're trained to deal with emergencies that arise, and you have different scenarios that you can go by, or backup systems on the airplane to overcome this situation. And this is one that there was absolutely no control, no input that could have been done by the airline crew. So it's very frustrating in a way, also. But as far as dealing with it, it's hard. I mean, I literally put myself in that, like, I visualized flying that same approach, and I've done it countless times. And just seeing the visual sight picture in my head of that short final, and then to have that go away, it's hard. But everybody will get over it, and it sadly, um, events like this cause change. You have to have events like this to cause change. So I'm sure that there'll be different changes. I assume there'd be different changes in how the airspace is run as far as the military traffic.